Thank you for tuning in. My name is Bob. I am going to review the entire wave of Marvel Legends Avengers Wave 3. Now, this wave encompasses 6 figures, and a variety of them are really obscure. Now, there are only 2 that are officially from the Avengers movie, which I think is kind of interesting because if you've seen the movie already, there is a lot of stuff in that movie that really needs to have a figure made. So, not happening yet, but probably soon. I wouldn't doubt within the next week, Hasbro and Marvel and Disney will drop the next wave of figures. So, obviously, we have Captain America, who is in his special Avengers suit. I'm not going to spoil anything because literally this is the day that we are the day the movie came out. So the other figure that's actually from the movie is Evany Moth, which was a figure that was really left out of the previous wave. So it's great that we're actually getting that figure now. Now, we do have Captain Marvel here. She is here for a point of reference until we start opening other figures. But as you can see, Evany Moth does come with a Thanos Build-A-Figure. So let's talk about the packaging right off the bat. Now, as I said, I do have 6 figures to unbox today. Now, we are going to do all 6 and build Thanos. So this could take a while if you're going to go somewhere and come back. Don't worry, we're going to repost this on our YouTube channel. It will be up on Facebook permanently, but we like to use everything and hit all of our assets and make things accessible for all of our fans, because not everybody has Facebook anymore. So, let's talk about the package here. So, Marvel Legends, again, we are going with the standard package that we probably have had, I'd say probably for the last 4 to 5 years. So, again, great packaging. It's recognizable instantly. We see Cap here. We see in the special suit from Avengers Endgame. We have the multiple languages. I'm not going to do this for everyone, so we're just going to kind of breeze it over because it's kind of the same. I do have one criticism about Cap, though, in relation to the others. As you can see here, we do have the Build-A-Figure pieces, how they all lay out. So we have our numbers right here, 1 through 6, which actually means there's 7 figures, so I'm not very good at counting, I think. I have everybody. Yeah, I have everybody. I will bring this a little bit closer. I think this cap here looks awesome. This cap up here really does look like Chris Evans. Not so much this cap. I'm not really digging this. Now, if you get the 2-pack of Hawkeye and Black Widow, you do get multiple heads, so you could probably pop this head off. But let's get to it. Let's see how this cap is. We're going to do an instant, instant pose. We're going to try and move this along quickly. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about the box again because the box is pretty standard at this point for Marvel Legends. Now, I'll talk about the box. Awesome. Love this inside. Stuff that you don't really see with all this blurry bubble. But this is really cool that they've gone to this extra layer here to add this per character. Sometimes it's different, sometimes it's not. But that's really nice. It's a good job there by Marvel and Hasbro. So we will remove him from his, what I call the plastic coffin. And we'll do a quick smell test. He smells like a new toy, so that's good. But not really heavy. Cap pops right out of there. So I'm going to have a lot of stuff to throw away here. All right, so here we go. We got Cap. He is kind of a bulky figure. Hands are a little out of whack. Raul, please get your coffee now, but trust me, I've got a lot of stuff going on here for these figures. Actually, this Poseability is awesome. So let's do the figure here. So we have some, it's hard not to spoil this, but we have our GPS device right here. And then, actually, as heads go, it's a pretty decent head. I'm digging it. You know, I'm liking it. I think it looks good. And actually, as Poseability goes, he's really cool. So, hopefully I got him back here far enough. I'll probably just adjust this just a little bit. So there we go. So the suit's good. I could see this easily being interchangeable for anyone. So you could take like Ant-Man and put his head on there if you have an extra Ant-Man. I mean, some of these figures that we do have multiple heads already. So this is kind of I would say this is almost like a Swiss Army utility knife kind of figure. So we put this in here. Let's see if I can get this in here. And So I'd say his head looks feels a little weird. Like we don't have a lot of neck space. Like he can go down, but it just feels a little awkward. But as far as posability goes, he's up. So let's do can we do almost like a toss kind of throw here? It's a really intricate shield. You can really see that they've really done some great details here on the belts, which is great, especially if you've seen the movie already. And then it's solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to pop off. So it's a little hard to get his hand on there, but I think I'm just nitpicking, and for a matter of reviewing all of these figures, I think I should just keep it moving along. He's a little loose right here. A little odd, a little loose considering I just got him out of the pack. But as far as posability goes, I do have him on a slightly, I don't know, I would say like a little bit more of a cardboard surface here. It's just to help bounce the light a little bit better. But there he is, and here she is with her glorious mohawk to give you a scale comparison of the two figures. So we did review this Captain Marvel earlier. She's a solid figure. She's probably one of my new favorites. So really, really enjoying it. So let me just check here. Make sure I don't have any more comments here going on. All right. Again, thank you for tuning in. So Cap's pretty good. Can we pop his head off right away? Let's find out. Yep. Came right off. So, again, like I said, if you take away the shield, you take away the helmet, we could easily accessorize this outfit for any one of the crew based, I mean, if you saw War Machine, he has a slightly different outfit, but his is over his suit, so it's a little bit different for him. So but if you wanted to put like Hawkeye or Iron Man or on here, just to get that moment. But I think as just a straight figure, I think it's a solid thing for kit bashing and easily interchangeable for all the other figures that you might want to use or make or do something with. So do like Cap a little bit more than I thought. And this is one of the great things about taking the figure actually out of the package. You get a better sense of his posability. I mean, look at that. It's getting cooler and cooler. So this was a figure that I didn't think much of. But as I open him up and I look at him, I mean, I could use a little bit more color details back here. But I think he's a pretty solid figure. So let's move on. So we already had a nice little, we're going to do Citizen V now. So we already had a nice comment that people were excited about Citizen V. And I am looking how to open Citizen V. Now, I actually had to look this guy up. So he is Baron Zemo, but he adopts the alias of Citizen V, and then he ends up leading the Thunderbolts, who are bad guys who are kind of do good things. So if you're a fan of the Suicide Squad, this is kind of like a good guy version of Baron Zemo, who was a bad guy, bad guys doing good things kind of character. So this figure was announced at one of the conventions in Europe over the summer. So we have really nothing here, which I think they could have put a Thunderbolts logo here. So kind of a missed opportunity there, Marvel and Hasbro. We get him out of the plastic coffin. Smell test. Ooh, he's a little stronger than the other guy. A little stronger than Cap. All right, so we've got an interesting thing here. The cape coming through the back. So let's see if I can get him out without destroying anything. All right. I can't get rid of that yet. So let's take the cape off and see what we've got here. So, sword's very cool. Now, I'm a fan of, I believe it was the Captain America First Avenger Baron Zemo figure. I thought that figure was awesome. And he came with a sword. So I think it's interesting how they package these. The Thunderbolts came after the Onslaught happened, and Baron Zemo got a team of other villains to dress up in new costumes and become heroes, but they made ulterior motives, of course. Well, that's usually what happens, Matt. So thanks for the update. I did Google him. I think it's a cool-looking figure. I'm really digging what Marvel and Hasbro here did with the belt. So I think that looks really, really cool. The little belt, phase that we've got there. I like that a lot. Face is good. Head turns. The sword is awesome. Look at these boots. Now, I'd like to see if we had maybe an original Captain America that we can compare these shoes to. But if you're just looking at a straight figure that you want to kit bash, this is it. I mean, check out these gloves. And they're more like bandages wrapped around him. So that's really cool. Like this is going to be a great figure to kit bash if you just need a straight body and you just want to do, actually, to do this figure just straight up looking at it. And this is not a knock on Hasbro, but kit bashing and making your own figures is such a big part of the industry now. If you really wanted to make a Daredevil figure in the all black guise, this is the arms that you need. These are the boots that you want, and even placing this around here and painting it black. If you just want to do Daredevil in the black outfit, this is really cool. So we do have the cape. Goes in this little spot back here. I'm digging its red, white, and blueness. So we put it in there. A little tough. Not too tough. But Citizen V is a solid figure. This is, I mean, the cape. Now, there's a huge argument between cloth capes and rubber capes, and I think that's all on your point of preference. So as you can see here, I need to zoom back out again. So as you can see here, Citizen V does have awesome poseability. So you do really get a good sense of the character and the figure. I'm just going to adjust my camera here a little bit. So I'm very sorry if this gets a little wonky. So that's a little bit better. So as you can see, he's a solid figure, great for kit bashing, and he comes with Thanos's. Now this is the full armor Thanos. This is the one everybody wanted, and now we know why after you see the movie. Why this was not the initial one, but we've got a right leg here for Thanos. So we will build him at the end. So this is to be continued. But as far as Citizen V goes, this is a solid figure, a figure for a character that I'd really like to learn a little bit more about. We do have the sword here. It is tied in. I'm going to leave it there because he's going to get posed like this on my desk. We do have a fist. Face is a little interesting here. I think that maybe if you use this face, you may be able to use it for a few other characters that kind of have a similar mask style to this. So Citizen V, if you like the character, is a great figure. If you're looking to kit bash, I would say that Citizen V is probably a good way to go, especially if you want to make a No Man's Land style kind of Daredevil. Sorry, this cardboard thing that I have to bounce light is usually a little bit better, but I kind of moved him around a bit. So there you go. But the cape is really good. Yes, Raul, I am actually unboxing the entire wave. So I'm doing the whole thing. So you can leave me on. I'm going to be background noise if you want to hear about it. So let's move it on. There goes Citizen V. Let's get to... So now we will be reviewing Evany Moth. So this was a figure that I really wanted in the initial wave. I think, you know, it's nice that they kind of spread the line out a little bit to cover two movies. It's interesting that we're getting what I call a lot of filler characters. So if you're a fan of Marvel Comics, to get characters like Nighthawk and Hercules and Living Laser, it's awesome. However, I think that should have been more of the Avengers way. But this all goes into with spoilers, and you know there's going to be lots of stuff that's going to come out when this baby hits, when the movie hits video this fall. So I'm sure there'll be probably, I wouldn't be surprised if there were two waves of figures. So Evany Moth here, who is one of Thanos' gang, or one of his children, one of his followers. I'm forgetting what the actual name of that little group is called. So if you could post it, I would greatly appreciate it. So here we go. We're doing the feet for some reason when we get to the Thanos characters. But here we go. Now, this is interesting. He's the villain, and we have an Avengers card behind him. Now, I know it does fall into the Infinity War packaging, but it seems a little strange to me, especially when you could have probably just put the glove for Thanos. So that would have been interesting. An interesting take. So, the Black Order. Thank you. He is part of the Black Order. So, it's another leg. So, he's slightly taller than I expected. Ooh, okay. So, smell test. Oh, he's strong. Now, I love the fact that they've got the rings here on his hand. Look at that. No scar from the first movie. But, ooh, he is tall. All right, so we're going to do an instant, we'll do an instant pose here, which is I like to do. Look at that. Ooh, solid. That is an awesome figure. I love bad guys. Bad guys are always the figures that I love to have. I wish I had a Doctor Strange here. So let's compare him to the Mohawk. Look at the height difference here. So these figures are basically 6 inches, but I would give him almost 7.5, if not 7. So it's really just wow. All right, let's compare him to Cap, who's I believe is the same size. So there's your height difference between Cap and Evany Moth. Look at that. He is really, he is really, really tall. That is an awesome figure. So let's do some posability here. So his hands are really nice. I could use a little bit better on the head back here. I mean, he's got some hair, but it looks like it's a separate detached piece. The neck's turning really nice, but he's almost got like octopus arms. Now that we've got this extra joint so we can kind of control his hands in here. Only one set of hands, which he's kind of a magician, so you think you get a little bit more, but check this out. Look, you could pour this all the way over, so like he's pulling. So that does really well. Yeah. So, and let's see what we have feet-wise. So here we have this little part of the outfit, rubbery, not cloth, but it fits, and this is really like they really put a lot of detail into this right here. So I'm really digging this. You can feel it. It's like little, it's almost like a chainmail kind of feel to it. So here we go. Give him a bent knee. And we've got nice little joints here. Better than the Star Wars figures that we reviewed a day or two ago. And there he is. Yeah, I got to say, he's an easy 10 out of 10. He's a really solid figure. I mean, this is a cool figure. This is 10 inches. I mean, not 10 inches. This is 10 out of 10, and he's at least 7 to 7.5 inches tall. So, yep, that's Evany Moth. I think he's a solid figure, and he does come with the left leg, right? Yeah. Yeah, the left leg of Thanos. So we will compare Thanos to him when we get to him at the end. But we've got our Build-A-Figure pieces here, and we're moving right along, junkies. Thanks for sticking with us. So we're going to do... Now, this one, I've always been fascinated by the Squadron Supreme. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's just Marvel's version of the Justice League, and this is Nighthawk, is clearly our version of Batman in the Justice League universe. I kind of liked what... J. Michael Straczynski did with the Squadron Supreme a couple years ago. Thought it was a good take on it in an alternate universe kind of deal. Again, we could have had a Squadron Supreme logo here or something, or maybe even for the Defenders, because I think it's funny that they say Kyle. Oh, sorry. It says Kyle Richmond has a change of heart and joins the Defenders. This is also a member of the Squadron Sinister. So it's been changed. The character and the group has been changed several times. It's an interesting take. So here we have Nighthawk out of the plastic coffin, and I already have an instant beef. So let's pop out this, which is the arm. This is Thanos' like helicopter blade thing. If you've seen the movie, yeah, he does a lot of damage with that. So, so this is interesting. So here's our bubble out, and then over here, he's almost in a second bubble. So look at this cape. This is fantastic. I mean, it really goes with the whole Nighthawk look. So, but he is, within the cape, he has a second interior coffin. Look at this. This is crazy. So, wow, this is a lot of cape. So we've got really cool boots, almost as if you wanted to use original X-Men style boots, if you wanted to do that. Like, I think Forge should be wearing these boots. But the cape is really heavy, so the cape isn't really helping with balancing the figure out. I thought the cape maybe would touch the ground, and then, so we can move these too. But I thought the cape would help keep the figure solid to the ground. So The cape is a little loose when you take him off. So let's pop his head off here. Not his head. Let's out of the cape. So this is the cape by itself. Great ridges. Look at this detail. Sharp edges here. This is an awesome cape for almost any character if you wanted to kit bash this. Or if you wanted to do your own style of a Batman in a Marvel Legend using the Marvel Legend sculpt, this would be great because you could really use this cape. This really works well. So standing on his own, Nighthawk, pretty good figure. Could easily make a Wolverine out of this. Hint, hint, hint. See this? Easily make a Wolverine out of this figure if you wanted to. Let's do a pose without the cape because I have a feeling the cape's going to be a bit of a problem. So there he is. That's Nighthawk standing. I'm really into what Marvel and Hasbro have been doing with the eyes. So painting them silver really does give an interesting look and feel to it. Face is pretty good, but we've got a character here, so it's all jaw. It's all very Superman, Batman style of a jaw mask that he has. It's all he reveals. Now, my biggest complaint, and I saw this when I was looking at the pack, is that on the pack, Nighthawk's claws are silver. Here, they're just yellow. So I think this is, they have a bit of a shine to them. It feels like it's a little bit different. This could just be the version I have. We could have just got through quality control. Could not have been a great paint job. Could have slipped through. But even here on the back, they're silver. It's kind of interesting that they're just yellow. And I think with all the details that they've been doing with paint and eyes lately, yellow claws seems like, drops down a few points in my book. So let's do the cape. And let's put, it actually has a peg in the back so that we can, now this one was like Citizen V, so this might be a figure, well, he doesn't fly, so he's like Batman. Can we get him to stand on his own? The cape helps a little bit, so if you put the cape in the right spot, move this back a bit for you guys. If you put the cape in the right spot, he does have a great look to him. So, as you can see, that's Nighthawk. Now, this figure looks great in the package. You got to really get him out and you got to work him to make him fit just right and make him everything fit the way it's supposed to be. So, this looks great. He's better, but this is our biggest complaint, and I'm going to put him straight up here, Wolverine style. As you can see, these claws right here are not silver. So that would be my biggest complaint about this figure. I think it's cool. I love the cape. I think he's good for kit bashing, but I think Marvel dropped the ball a little bit here, or I'm sorry, Hasbro dropped the ball here. These should be silver. So not really liking it too much when it comes to that. So what do we get here? We've got Thanos' right hand. That's our Build-A-Figure piece with Nighthawk. And it also comes with his weapon. This is a little rough. Went right in. Okay. I take it back. Not so rough. So this is the weapon we get. I call this the helicopter blade. This is the thing he got. Didn't bump him, but I did bump the cardboard beneath him. So he's back up. So that's Nighthawk. Here's his Build-A-Figure piece for Thanos. Pretty cool. We're going to be moving on here, junkies. So, this one, coming up, we are going to be talking here about the Living Laser. So, I think this is a really, really cool figure. So, the Living Laser is a slightly different Marvel character, but when I saw this one announced, you got to really give it up to it. Like, look at this. This is crazy. We've got all kinds of great colors here. We've got some different weapons for a change. Well, not weapons, but energy blasts. I'm really tired of the Doctor Strange ones you kind of see with like every character. But when a character is driven by jealousy Arthur Parks becomes the villainous Living Laser. It's a little over the top, but you know, it's also a lot of fun. So let's do this one. I'll pop this guy out here. But if you are just tuning in, we are reviewing the entire wave today. It's kind of my goal to see how quickly and efficiently I can do this. So really, really enjoying this wave. And I just realized that we may be short. We're not short a figure. I was counting off. There is another figure here. All right, good. I got nervous. Sorry about that, junkies. So Living Laser, really nothing, no logo. Kind of need like a bad guy logo. So the Living Laser is also our torso piece for the Build-A-Figure Thanos. So we have this monster piece right here. So let's get this plastic coffin out. Ooh, let's do a... Yeah, he's got that new figure smell. All right, let's get the weapons out of here. Not the weapons, the energy blast. So these are really, as you can see, they easily move. So we get an extra little like layer of reality to it. I think instead of just being like hard plastic, they're really bendy. So I'll just shake it a little bit and it moves. So we get 2 of those. So I could kind of see these being with the shocker, but just yellow. So that'd be cool if they I think it's time to redo the shocker. So let's get the Build-A-Figure piece out, but we'll worry about that at the end. So here's the Living Laser. Ooh, he feels really almost like translucent, like when you touch him. So we've got this extra little piece right here. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of focus. There we go. Really nice right there. The back's great, but you can see the light actually catching the figure to give it that really cool look. So yeah, just kind of look at this. Look how the muscle doesn't seem to line up. Oh wow, I'm actually kind of scared because this is very sturdy. It's not really turning, so this isn't lining up. This one turn? That turns. So I'm gonna let that go. This right here is really, really stiff. Really stiff. I think that might break if I move it. So I'm going to leave that like, oh, that leg is weird. MJ is joining me. You won't see either one of us today. We figured that was your for your preference. But this leg is this leg is out of joint. It doesn't even move.
Oh yeah, what the heck? Oh yeah. No, that's bad.
Yeah, so this is not moving at all. Up. Yeah. So we do have the nice headpiece here. Doesn't do too much. He does move side to side, but will he stand? Look at his leg. It's almost as if the Living Laser is slightly dead.
Yeah, the Living Laser.
So there he's standing. That is just a terrible, awkward pose. All because I can't move this leg. It's almost as if this is melted into the joint piece to turn it.
We'll try to put it in some hot water, see if we can't break it loose later. But I think that's...
Yeah. So that's so far. This is the first... I mean, we've only got 2 more to go, and that's our first big issue. And it really makes him awkward to stand.
It doesn't look like it looks like there's something, like even the leg itself shouldn't lock in like that.
Yeah, it's...
Like it looks like it's on backwards, but then the knee joint
would
be bad.
So I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, we're going to have to either put that in water, break it, and re-glue it. But it's such an awkward position that you can't really... I'm trying to work the pose into how he's standing. But he's just all over the place. So he's really... All right, well, let's assume that one day he will be fixed. But then let's put these on, see what this looks like.
Well, he's definitely the weakest of the figures. Anyway.
And I thought he was the coolest looking of the figures, which really kind of surprised me. So these are cool. And I think, like I said, I think these could work for the shocker.
Well, I think that's one of those accessories that you get and then you end up using it for somebody else.
Yeah, or even
Maybe
taking...
Thor.
Exactly. Oh, that'd be awesome for Thor. Maybe, did Thor have these? There's been so many Thor figures, and I really can't quite tell. But yeah, he's... Oh my God! Yeah, it's that or break him. So... All right. All right, well... We're going to be moving on here, but I think this was a cool figure. I think we got a broken one. I'm sure they're not all like this, but it's kind of depressing because you really wanted to pose him and get him into something cool. I mean, like, there he is. Not really that great. So this figure started off really cool, but we seem to have a defunct defect.
Yeah, I like the translucent. I mean,
Yeah, and it works for the character. You know, it's one thing to have it.
Does this come off? Is this?
Yeah, you can try popping it off.
No, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, so I could see this being for, you know, especially if you wanted to really have fun with this and make it into a red hood.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's got
and
a
kit
real
bash
red
it.
hood kinda.
Yeah, but you know, I like the extra colors that we have up here. But you can't break the living laser. He's made of lasers. Well, this laser's hardened, so he must have been out in the cold too long. As Build-A-Figure pieces go, we have the torso. We've got the legs here and the head. So we are very close to finishing off the Thanos. But unfortunately, the living laser, no good. So let's get to... This is the figure that everybody seems to be the most excited about in this line, and that is Hercules. Is it the first Hercules?
I feel like there's.
Is it the first modern Hercules?
I believe so.
I think it's the first modern Hercules. But this seems to be the one figure that everybody wants, and I don't think I've actually seen one in the stores. Have you?
No, I have not. But then again, I haven't seen.
Oh, I haven't seen any of this wave in the store. Any of this wave.
No, but I keep going to Targets and seeing like these empty cases as the people are walking away with Avengers cases, and then you go over and you're like, oh yeah, here's the first wave or the second wave of what's his name.
Now we know that he's an Avenger, but I think it's kind of funny that we do have this logo in here, even though Evany Moth had it too, which was kind of weird because he's an Avenger figure. But you know, I don't quite get that, but it's a little bit different. So we get him out of the plastic coffin, and he's got a lot of accessories here. So we have the Thanos head, which I just caught, believe it or not, and we've got an interesting axe. It's almost like a mace axe. So that's really cool. We've got a couple comments here. I don't buy Marvel Legends often, but I saw him at Walmart and almost got him. He looks really good. Well, so far, so good, but that's what I thought about Living Laser. We do have a big sword, perfect for Hercules. We've got alternate fists. So we got hands. A lot of accessories here for Hercules.
I mean, he looks like the best of all the figures, for sure. I mean, I guess Evany Moth's pretty good.
Evany Moth's really good.
Ronan actually looks pretty sharp. But, you know, I mean, this Captain America is...
No, I liked him a lot more once I got him out. Once I got him out, he was a lot better. So, I just loved it.
I'm assuming that this darker gray suit must have been from the original concept art, since they ended up more with
a white suit, yeah. So, there's Hercules. He's pretty cool. So far, he's moving pretty good. His joints move. We should almost do the leg joint test. I just don't understand what's going on with some of these characters and their feet. So that's better. He looks a lot better there. So we do have, which is nice, we have actually like a bandolier to put these weapons in. It should be nice if more of the characters had stuff like this. Then again,
yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Then again, some of the characters
do
have holes. You're into that thing? I forgot to make that joke. So
I'm good for one always.
There we go. And then we turn him in the back here so you can see the back. That's awesome. And then a lot of detail here in the hair. So he has the man bun, which is up here. And then we have this awesome, like, masky type face protector thing, which is attached. I think you could peel. It's detached, but it's glued on. You could peel it off. But a lot of cool belts. And they all move, so you could kit bash this and take it out if you wanted to. So and he's got gauntlets here that are actually, they don't move, they're glued, but they are separate pieces.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I like that. So let's not break it. So far, we've been pretty good with the hands. We get a lot of people that say that the hands easily break, and I don't think we've had too many Marvel Legends hands break on us, or Hasbro figures in general.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
No, the only one that I can think of lately was the neck arrest, right? I mean,
yeah.
The review where we had an issue.
Yeah, the Gremlin was a little, I think, was our biggest. Like, oh, did that just happen?
Yeah, this is a solid.
I'm really reminded of a He-Man figure while I'm looking at this, like a really intricate He-Man or more of a.
The Thor Thor Ragnarok wave had some decent kind of, you know, builds like this and weapons in those.
Like, I could see if you really just wanted to do the Asgards or the Asgardians, this is like probably your crowning achievement until they come up with a new version of Thor.
Yeah.
Now, he's solid.
Oh, I'd like a new Thor.
Well, I'd like a Thor from the movie, which
Yeah,
we're not spoiling. We're not
yeah.
spoiling. We're not spoiling this. But I think he's a, let's do a couple, like he's a solid figure. I can see why people like him. There's a lot of detail to him. You could kit bash.
Mention, Wolverine showing. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that didn't happen, folks. But since Evany Moth seems to be our biggest figure here.
Wow, that's.
Let's do.
I don't know scale wise that's accurate.
If that, I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, you don't really see him standing.
He doesn't seem that tall in comparison to even like a Doctor Strange. And
Right.
You gotta figure that Hercules has got more height than.
So there's
There's no
Cap.
way that.
Cap's pretty much your average. Hercules is a little bit above that, but even then, I thought Evany Moth was like 7.5 inches,
I would have put Evany Moth
closer
more-
to 8.
Yeah, but I mean, scale wise, I just said he's maybe slightly above between Captain America and Hercules. Not
Yeah,
this
in the movie.
towering. Yeah,
In the movie.
yeah.
But I think Hercules is, so far, I think Hercules may be the best figure in the line yet.
Yeah, I think it's for me. I think it's gonna be a toss up between Hercules and Ronan. And unfortunately, my appointment got here way too early. So Bob,
All right.
I wanted to be here for when we actually built them, but
Oh.
guys, enjoy.
So here we are. Now, this is the figure that a lot of us are already just going, why couldn't we have the Hawkeye head? Why don't we get the Hawkeye head with the figure? He does come in a 2-pack, so you can kit bash it. But let's find out if you can actually remove the head. So here we go. Clint Barton is a master sharpshooter and skilled martial artist who fights alongside the Avengers. Nothing really in there about what happened to him after the snap or why he donned the guise of Ronan. So, you know. So here we go. Does he have the A in there? Yes, he does. It's funny how when you don't see it, when you look at them and then you open like 5 of them already, you're already looking to see if little details are there. So there he is out of the plastic coffin. Now, one thing I loved about this figure when I saw it instantly is this. These ninja stars, like they're coming right out of the hands. Really, really cool. Really solid and fantastic part of the line. So a new feature. So let's get Clint, Hawkeye, Ronan out of there. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's do, before we really get into it. Oh, there it goes. Before we get into it, let's do these hands. Look at the gold here on the inside of the hands. That is awesome. So there we go. Wow. So you look at a figure like this and you think, Hasbro, why aren't you making G.I. Joe figures in this style with this level of detail? It's really just a no-brainer. So let's do an instant pose with no weapon so we can do this a couple times here. Now, I want you to know that I do have this on a piece of it's on a light piece of foam, so I can bounce the light. So it's a little tough to get him through. But there he is, standing on his own. So we do have these gauntlets here, which are just great. Look at this. This all ridge detail. Can really, really feel it. So let's do some of the weapons here. So we've got the 2 swords. We've got the 2 samurai swords. And also have the hand with the ninja stars on it. We have that right there. That's nice. And then our final accessory is, of course, the Infinity Gauntlet hand for Thanos. So there we go. So let's do this here. So do both swords fit in? Kind of interesting. There is a yes. No? Yes? So we have a thing here for the sword. kind of weird that it's the way that it's shaped, but maybe it's supposed to be like this. So no real description on how this is supposed to look, but I have the swords like this, I think, which means you would cut yourself. So maybe they fit together kind of like this, and then we can just go. Is there a second? It's kind of hard to see if there's a second slot here. Like, perhaps I was going the wrong way. I was going the wrong way. So they're supposed to go like that. All right, there we go. So I've got the swords in there. And then this is the right hand with the So I think it's funny that in the movie he does carry a bow, but he does not have it here. Which I don't know why they were. What did they think they were spoiling? Little rough, little rough. There he is throwing. There he is throwing. So do a little angle here so you can see like where the stars are coming from. So this is different. Can't really, hey, what's up? You can see how they used the open hand and then they glued this into it. It is nice. So here's the question that we've all been wondering about, and let's just get this off here. So here we go. Let's do this. Can we take the head off? So this is awesome. This little heady piece here, this is easily going to get lost by a kid, but it does attach itself to the collar around here. So here we have a better shot of Ronan. Too bad it doesn't sit back here. I guess you could probably do something like that. Oh, look, there you go. But we do have the Ronan head. Looks great. Eyes are pretty good considering it's supposed to look like Jeremy Renner. And then if this head is like any other head in the Marvel Universe, boom. So we can put the other head, the Mohawk head that comes in the Hawkeye Black Widow 2-pack onto this figure. But I'm looking at this going, I don't understand why Hasbro just has not launched the G.I. Joe line. Like, this is a great figure and proof that you could do an awesome Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes. So this is a really, really solid figure. I think I'm going to need a harder surface to put these guys down on because this foam board is great for bouncing light. But there he is. There he is. I'll do a little zoom in. So, solid figure. I think well worth the wait. The figure we've been asking for a while. And then in the modern version and the movie version. So definitely a solid figure from Hasbro. Where's the Hulk? That's a good question, Corey Sosner. I think it's because they didn't want to reveal the Hulk as he looks in the film. So I think he's probably going to end up being in a different wave. But let's do a comparison here. So we have Hercules, part of the same wave, with Ronan. So you can see a height difference right there. And then let's zoom out a little bit. And then Evany Moth, who seems to be the tallest figure in the line, right there. So there's your height comparison, and then we'll put Captain Marvel, who's actually a little bit taller. No, a little bit smaller. So there's your height comparison with Ronan. So, yeah, I think Ebony may be the best figure in the line. He's the most articulated. He's the slimiest. A great representation of the character. Ronan's got a lot of good details, though. Like, if you really look at some of the things here, like, these are ridges. This isn't paint. You can actually feel this on here. So we've got this, like, chainmail armor on his shoulders. We've got belts. We've got detail underneath, so you could take this off. This is like an extra piece that goes over the top. So once you got all the belts off, you could really I mean, like, we've got full details all the way down here into the leather outfit. So this is an awesome figure for the character too. So really appreciating all the details, especially like this extra gold. This feels like a layer. It doesn't feel like it's paint. So we've got that. Now, junkies, as we clear this all away, we are going to build Thanos. So each piece of Thanos has been assembled and moved in from the different pieces, and I'm going to move my camera here and show you. Here is everything that we've got to build the Thanos that we all really wanted, the Thanos and his armor. And we realized way later that, after we saw the film that, and if you've seen the new film, there's a reason why we didn't get this Thanos right out of the bat. Now, AFJ has actually reviewed every Thanos, and this is our final Thanos. So let's build him here, and click. Love that noise. No real joint here. We've got that there, but he twists a little bit, but this armor is really tough. Let me put this one on. Okay, little paint smudge there. Little paint smudge. So I think Evany Moth might be taller than Thanos. Oh, no, he's not. Clearly he's going to be... Oh, that went right in. And I like that we get a little bit of purple in the arms here. They're not completely covered. That snapped in like nobody's business. And so there he is in his glory. We're going to zoom out here a little bit if we can. Oh, that's zooming in so that you can see the entire thing. And, of course I'm going to hide it from you until we get it on and do the big reveal. And there we are. The Build-A-Figure Thanos. So, it is interesting that the glove is actually a different color than the armor. So that's kind of interesting. Didn't expect that. I think the previous one, the armor was a little bit closer in color, but it's all after he takes all this off. So we see this. But can we do some poses here? And then... here's the Mad Titan. So, wow, yeah, that's an awesome figure. So he's a beast. He's really a beast. So let's do some comparisons here. So let's straighten him out. He feels very much like the Hulk, like a big, bulky figure, but his posability is awesome. So let's put him here, and let's do a side comparison to several of the figures that we have here. So Evany Moth, we thought was the biggest figure in the line. Look at that. Wow. So Thanos eclipses Evany Moth. So we're talking about almost about a 9-inch figure here, 9 inches. I believe that's, look at that size difference right there. Yeah, we had mentioned that the glove is slightly different, but if you think about it, maybe it's a little bit more of the burn glove after it's been used once or twice. So there's our size difference between him and Captain Marvel. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that will probably repaint that glove to make it match. But then if you look at this, this is kind of an off color too. So this is slightly different. It doesn't match the glove, which is more of a bronze. But then as we compare him to Hercules, so Hercules was not nearly as... he's not the shortest figure in this line, but look at that size comparison. Wow. And then let's bring in the guy who goes toe-to-toe with Thanos. Having some problems here doing this glove hand thing, bringing in this cap. There we go. So there's your size difference, junkies. Really big. So as we try to set this up here, gotta say that Hercules was exactly what we thought he would be. He's kind of the figure that everybody wants right now in the line. Evany Moth is definitely on the awesome side for this line. Long, waited for, and definitely much appreciated all the details that Hasbro put into him. I mean, maybe it wasn't something that was ready for the previous line. Ronan, fantastic figure. Just great details, and clearly evidence that we need a G.I. Joe line. Citizen V, definitely good for kit bashing. I like the figure. I don't know enough about the character to really appreciate him. But I think that as far as the figure goes for kit bashing style, he's pretty good. Nighthawk, definitely need better on the glove here. These need to be painted silver. And then sadly, we encountered a bad product defunct on the living laser. His left leg is broken. It does not move. This piece right here is stuck and will not move. So I don't even know if he can handle the group pose, and I really don't want to cover Nighthawk's face. So there they are. This is the Marvel Marvel Legends Avengers Wave 3. So there's kind of a class picture there. It is really a great collection of figures outside of a broken living laser who does not move his legs. Even Captain America, who I did not expect to like as much, I actually really do like. So I recommend picking these up. They have these on Entertainment Earth. You can buy the full wave. You can go toy hunt in the world and try to find them at Walmart and Target and wherever else you buy your toys. But you might as well just get the full wave. You get an extra cap, and then with the extra cap, you have an extra shield, and then you can just kit bash and remove his head and put on another Avengers head that you may already have or have an extra head of. So, again, my name is Bob. Thank you for tuning in today. It was a lot of fun reviewing the entire wave. Special thanks to MJ for popping his head in, giving some 2 cents. And his take on a few of these. Sadly, he was not able to join us when I built the Thanos. The Thanos is awesome. Might have to lay all the Thanoses out and take a look at it. But other than that, junkies, I think this is a great wave. Again, I think Hasbro has elevated action figures and the collector's market to give us more of what we want and to just really, give us, that's it, exactly. Give us what we want and supply the fan base with more and more unique figures. And for those that are just starting out in understanding comics, to understand that there is a character in the Marvel Universe called the Living Laser, Citizen V, Nighthawk, that they're just not about what's in the movies, but it's also a rich history of comics. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you hopefully on Monday with a whole new set of figures to review live. Thank you, junkies.